I never planned to tell this story online, but after everything that happened, I feel like someone out there might need to hear it. And before I continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Because stories like this are hard to tell, and your support really means a lot. So here's what happened. My wife and I had been married for 7 years. No major fights, no loud arguments, just a normal life. We laughed together, paid bills together, complained about traffic together, the kind of marriage that doesn't make headlines but feels safe, comfortable, real. She worked in marketing. Her job required occasional travel, and honestly, I trusted her completely. When she told me she had a 3-day business trip out of state, I didn't question it. I helped her pack. I joked about the hotel pillows. I kissed her goodbye at the airport and watched her walk through security like I always did. Everything felt normal. The first night she was gone, we talked on the phone. She sounded tired. Said meetings ran late. The second night, same thing. Short call. She said she was exhausted and needed sleep. That's when the idea came to me. I thought it would be romantic, something spontaneous, something couples do in movies. I decided to surprise my wife on her business trip. I imagined knocking on her hotel door, seeing her shocked smile, maybe ordering room service, laughing about how she didn't see it coming. I booked a late flight without telling her. Looking back now, that decision changed everything. If you're still watching, stay with me, because this is where things take a turn I never saw coming. I landed the next evening. I didn't text her. I wanted the surprise to be real. I grabbed a rental car and drove to the hotel she told me she was staying at. It was a nice place. Business class, clean lobby, soft lighting. As I walked toward the elevator, I felt excited, nervous, but in a good way. I went up to her floor and walked down the hallway, quietly, smiling to myself. I stopped in front of her door, and then I heard it. Noise. At first, my brain tried to explain it away. Maybe the TV was loud, maybe neighbors, maybe laughter from the hallway echoing weirdly. But then I listened more carefully. It wasn't the TV. It wasn't laughter. It was voices. A man's voice, and my wife's voice. I froze. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stood there, my hand inches from the door, my heart suddenly pounding so hard it felt like it was shaking my chest. I told myself not to assume anything. I told myself there was a reasonable explanation. Maybe a coworker, maybe a group meeting, maybe I was being dramatic. But then I heard my wife laugh in a way I hadn't heard in a long time. Not her polite laugh, not her tired laugh, her relaxed laugh, the one she used to have when we first met. My stomach dropped. At that moment, if you're feeling the tension, go ahead and tap like and subscribe. Because this story only gets heavier from here. I stepped back from the door. My legs felt weak. I remember thinking, whatever is happening behind that door, I am not ready for it. But I knocked anyway. The voices stopped instantly. Dead silence. I waited. Footsteps. The door opened, and there she was, my wife. Her smile appeared for half a second, and then disappeared. She looked confused, then shocked, then pale. "What are you doing here?" she asked. Before I could answer, a man stepped into view behind her. He wasn't wearing a suit. He wasn't holding papers. He was relaxed, too relaxed. And the room behind them told a story words didn't need to explain. My wife started talking fast. Too fast. Saying my name over and over. Saying things like, "This isn't what it looks like." Even though it was exactly what it looked like. The man didn't say anything. He just stood there, uncomfortable, like someone caught in the wrong room at the wrong time. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I surprised myself. I just felt empty. I remember asking one calm question. "How long?" She didn't answer right away. That silence was louder than any noise I had heard earlier. If you're still watching, please understand this isn't about drama. It's about real life, real people, and real consequences. She finally said it started months ago. A work connection. Emotional at first, then physical. I nodded. I thanked the man for his honesty, even though he hadn't spoken a word. Then I walked away. I didn't look back. I got into my car and just sat there, hands on the steering wheel, staring forward, not crying, not thinking, just existing. That night, I slept in my car. The drive home the next morning felt endless. Every mile replayed memories, holidays, inside jokes, plans for the future. All of it felt fake now. When she came home days later, we talked. For hours. Tears. Apologies. Explanations. Promises. But something had broken. Trust doesn't shatter loudly. It cracks quietly. We tried counseling. We tried space. We tried pretending things could go back to normal. They couldn't. We eventually separated. Today, I'm doing better. Not perfect, but healing. I'm sharing this because sometimes the hardest surprises aren't the ones we plan, they're the ones that show us the truth. If you've ever trusted someone fully and felt that trust shake, you're not alone. And if this story made you feel something, please like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. I read them. All of them. Sometimes, telling the truth is the first step to moving forward. And sometimes, the noise you hear changes your life forever. After that drive home, time stopped feeling normal. Days blurred together. Morning came whether I slept or not. Food tasted like nothing. I'd open my phone and stare at old photos like they belonged to someone else's life. Smiling faces. Vacations. Random moments that once meant everything. When my wife finally came back home, she didn't knock. She walked in slowly, like she wasn't sure she was allowed to exist in the same space anymore. She looked smaller somehow, tired. We sat at the kitchen table for a long time before either of us spoke. No anger, no shouting. Just the sound of the clock ticking on the wall, reminding us that time doesn't wait for heartbreak to catch up. She cried first. Not dramatic crying, quiet crying. The kind where someone keeps wiping their face like it might erase what already happened. She said she never planned for it to go that far. She said she felt lonely. She said work pressure, distance, routine, all the usual explanations people give when they're trying to understand their own choices. I listened. That surprised her. She kept waiting for me to explode. But anger requires energy, and I had none left. I asked questions. Not to punish her, just to understand what part of our life I misunderstood so completely. How did I miss this? When did you stop feeling close to me? Did you ever think about telling me the truth before I showed up? Those questions hurt more than yelling ever could. She admitted something that stuck with me. She said she didn't feel seen anymore. That word seen stayed in my head for weeks. Because I thought I saw her every day. But maybe I only saw the version of her that fit into our routine. If this part of the story is hitting close to home, take a second and subscribe. These conversations matter more than we admit. We tried to fix things. We went to counseling. We set rules. We talked about rebuilding trust, like it was a broken house that just needed repairs. But trust isn't a house. It's a feeling. And once it's gone, you can rebuild the structure, but the warmth never feels the same. Every late notification made my chest tighten. Every business call made my mind wander. I didn't want to become suspicious, but suspicion became automatic. One night, months later, I realized something important. I wasn't angry at her anymore. I was tired, and that scared me more than anger ever could. We had one last conversation. No tears, no accusations, just honesty. We admitted that love doesn't always survive truth, especially when the truth arrives too late. We separated quietly. No big announcement, no public drama. Friends were shocked. Family asked questions. We gave polite answers. But behind closed doors, we were both grieving different versions of the same life. The hardest part wasn't losing my wife. It was losing the future I thought was guaranteed. If you're still listening, you're not alone in that feeling. After the separation, I had to relearn how to be alone. Silence became loud. Weekends felt endless. I caught myself reaching for my phone to text her, then remembering I couldn't anymore. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in small, uncomfortable moments. Like learning how to cook for one. Like sitting in an empty living room without turning the TV on. like realizing that peace sometimes feels boring after chaos. Months passed. I started therapy not to blame, but to understand myself. I learned that love needs attention, not just loyalty. That comfort can slowly turn into distance if you stop being curious about the person you're with. That surprises can be beautiful or devastating. One day, while cleaning out old boxes, I found the receipt from that flight. The surprise trip. The moment everything changed, I stared at it for a long time. And then I threw it away, because holding on to it didn't serve me anymore. If this story has taught me anything, it's this. Sometimes, life doesn't warn you. Sometimes, the truth doesn't knock politely. Sometimes, the noise you hear is your wake-up call. If this story meant something to you, please like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Someone reading them might feel less alone tonight. And if you're in a relationship, check in, ask questions, be present, not perfect present, because surprises are powerful, and not all of them come wrapped in love.